Hello, welcome back to school. I think the school bell is in the classroom, or the schoolroom, whatever you want to call that part of the building. And with the way I'm feeling right now, I really don't want to get it. So, I need to finish up my writing assignment because I don't know if we're going to have class tomorrow. I just don't know. We didn't have class today because teacher and I were both feeling wonky. Well, let's just say wonky. And I don't know if we're going to have class tomorrow because teachers still might be feeling wonky. And who knows, I might be feeling wonky. So, I'm going to put you there. I think what I'll do is fill you guys in on stuff that happened today after I get done with my Brailling, because teacher doesn't like all the chit chat before my homework sessions. So, I have 4 pages for Braille to work on for writing. I did the other ones, I don't know, last week. I think I did them on Wednesday last week. I have 4 pages left. Oh, and I figured I might as well work on them now, get them done. And then I could at least have that done if we do have class tomorrow. I won't get in trouble for not having my homework done. Do one less thing to worry about. So, I have, that's the first page I'll be writing out. I don't know if you guys can see that. I hope you can. I don't know. And then this is the second page. And the third page. And the 4th page is back here. So, I think what I'll do is I will write these out, like, while I'm listening to YouTube or something. And then I'll come back and I'll show you guys the end product of my writing assignment. And the thing is, I have to write this out like really, really good because I have to read it. So if I read it wrong, I'm either reading it wrong or I'm misreading a word. So I have to make sure that this is written out really, really good. So the first sentence says, Mac has a rag cat jazz band. I gotta, oh, it's a ragtag jazz band. What's a hyphen? I don't know what a hyphen is. Oh, gosh. I have to look up and see what a hyphen is. So, there's a project there. Okay. I'm going to look up, see what a hyphen is. And I'm going to Braille these sentences out. And then once I'm done, I'll be back. And then I'll share with you my fun and exciting adventure today and what happened. I gotta find the off button. Hello. And just like that, my writing is done. This is the back 2 pages. And over here, this is the other page I did, although I don't know. Yeah, this is the right way. So this is the last bit of my writing. I'm happy that that's done. I could put this now on the desk and put this, I don't know, I guess I could put it in the box. Yeah. I think that's what I'll do. I'll just put that in the box, put the writing, keep that on the desk for now, or maybe even put it on the music desk. I'm gonna need the desk. Okay, now I can chit chat with you guys. Aren't you so happy? Okay, today I had a very hectic day. I had an appointment. I went and saw, I'm trying to cover the Brailler up at the same time while I'm talking to you guys, so you guys can watch me cover the Brailler. I had an appointment, so I had transportation scheduled, all that good stuff. And for some unknown reason, somehow, the driver did not have my contact information. So the guy could not, like, call me and say, hey, I'm gonna be there at whatever time to pick you up for your, appointments in the afternoon or whatnot. And so I had a massive headache, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and a little bit into Monday. I was super, super stressed out about this. Like, if you don't drive, this is like one of the biggest drawbacks of, like, being a blind person, is just the simple act of getting to see your doctor. I mean, you never know if the driver's gonna show up on time. You don't know even who they are. You don't know which driving company they're sending or who is available. It's not pretty at all. And so the guy ends up, well, I'm trying to get a hold of my contact person, and I can't get a hold of her because, of course, she's probably out at lunch or something. And so she then calls me out at 1 in the afternoon, 1300 hours. She says, yeah, so-and-so said that they're downstairs waiting for you. I was like, really? I didn't know that. I had no information that, I had no contact of when the driver was going to be here. And the funny thing is, I talked with her earlier that morning, and she said that she was going to send me that information in an email. Well, apparently they didn't know what time he was coming. So, yeah, it's really weird on that front. So I had no information of what time this driver was going to be here, so I couldn't be downstairs waiting. And then, like, I get outside, and there's, like, this huge sea of cars just parked out front. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh my gosh. Which car belongs to this driver that I need? And I'm thinking he's in the car, and he's probably still has it running, because he's just picking up a person, and then he's going to back out and leave or something. Well, I'm walking up and down the parking lot, and I can't find anyone. And, I mean, with how the automobiles are being built, they're built bigger. So it's like you can't just walk through a parking lot and see someone walking because the cars are blocking the person. So I'm thinking, okay, if I'm walking here, is this person going to even be able to see me? Because of all the cars and stuff. And so eventually I'm trying to call my lady, and it's like, hey, what's going on? And then, of course, I'm trying to call her, and she's not answering. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so not good. And we're supposed to be, like, on the road by now. And so I'm standing at what I call it the peninsula. And so I'm standing at this peninsula waiting for this driver to just come up or drive up or something, because I'm thinking, well, he might drive out and look for me or something, I don't know. And eventually he does come out, and it seems like he's like coming up from the driveway, like he's just coming into the driveway. And he comes, and he's in an unmarked car, and he like stops a little bit before where I'm standing, and he's like, do you want me to pull around, or kind of like turn the vehicle around? And I looked at him, and I'm like, I don't even know who you are. And eventually he did tell me his name. He says, hey, I'm so-and-so with, so-and-so driving company. It's like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, the weird things that people do, thinking of blind people. I'm not just gonna, like, get in some stranger's car without knowing who the person is. Which, that is funny, because I have been known to get in, like, I think at least twice, I've got into somebody else's car, and it was not the car that I needed. Yeah. So that was the whole transportation ordeal. And once we got on the road, I got to the appointment okay, which is fine. But, of course, wouldn't you have it that when you get there, they're asking for your insurance card. And I'm like, I go to reach in my bag, and I've got my planner, I've got my pen, I've got, phone, and I go to reach in there, and it's like instinctively I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't even grab my wallet. So I don't have my ID, I don't have my insurance card, I don't have any cash or anything on me for anything, So I didn't have my wallet with me, which had all that important stuff in it. And so I told the lady, it's like, I don't have my card with me. And I says, well, don't you guys have that on file? They're like, well, yeah, we've got photos of it, but we need the original. It's like, oh my gosh. So she's like, well, it's okay. We'll get it next time. It's like, whatever. So I go and I sit down waiting. Eventually they called my name. They did their usual, standard check-in stuff. They check blood pressure and all that stuff. And yeah, sure enough, once you have it, I'm still alive. And so the main reasons that I went in there was for my ear and my foot, because I've had issues with my foot, and I've also had issues with my ear, especially with the right one. And so the girl was kind of prodding around with the foot, and she found a tender spot, and it's like, ow, that hurts, don't do that. And she's thinking, we could do x-rays to see, if there's any torn ligaments. And if there's a torn ligament, we would have to do, like, I think they call it an MRI, whatever that is. But then they said, okay, because the MRI or whatever is like super, like thousands of dollars, they said that more than likely, if they did do that, they would probably do surgery to kind of put it back together. I'm thinking, I don't know if I really want to go down that road. But then again, I'm thinking, well, currently, every time that I've tried to play organ, I've had issues. Or if I've had to, like, recently notice walking briskly, the left foot seems to be a little bit more, I don't want to say laggy, but it just kind of, there's a little bit more oomph that has to be done with it to kind of get it to go. So I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to totally do the MRI thing without knowing for sure. And she says, well, we could just do a simple x-ray and kind of take a look at it and see what's going on. Because I think, like, x-rays, like, they could see bone, and I think it couldn't pick up soft tissue. So, I don't know. I was like, okay, we can do that. So, they did the x-ray. And, then, let me see here, what else? Oh, as far as the ear. I told her that, in July I had a guy clean out my ear, and like a professional ENT, and he just did a really bad job, and it was just really clogged up, and it was really bothering me. And so she's like, okay, we could have nurse so-and-so get that cleaned out. It's like, okay. So she kind of looked in there. It's like, oh yeah, the left one is ripe for cleaning out because it was all nice and soft in there. Whereas the left one was a little bit, I wouldn't say hard, but it was more, the wax was more harder. But yeah, they did a flush job, and they got all the big chunks of wax cleaned out. Because the left ear was a little bit inflamed or infected or whatever, they gave me some eardrops or whatever, antibiotics to kind of calm that down, I guess. I don't know. But either way, they did get flushed out. And here's my kitty. There's my kitty. Yeah, there's my kitty. They did get it flushed out. They got both ears flushed out. The left ear, although it got flushed out, it had like, I guess what I would liken like almost a bubble of water that was stuck inside the ear, and it just would not like pop. And eventually, like on the way back home, it did pop, and it was really weird because like not a whole gush of water just came falling out, but it was like, it felt like it could have, like a whole gush of water came out. But yeah. So as far as the ear, we got eardrops for that, and the foot, I guess they're going to call me about the foot to see what's going on with the foot. I pray that it's not a broken ligament or a torn ligament. Something, as far as the foot, something what we are going to look at is doing, what is it? Occupational therapy? I think it's occupational. It's a small muscle thing. It's a small thing, so I don't know. One of those therapies. So hopefully it's just like super, super weak. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of, because that's what it feels like if I walk really fast. It feels like the foot just needs stronger strengthening or whatever. I don't know. But yeah. So that's kind of what's going on with the foot and with the heel, or with the ear. The heel is okay. I'm not sure what to do about Oregon as far as foot pedaling. I'm going to see if there's a way I could like almost transpose the foot pedal register, if that makes any sense. But I don't know if that's possible. I don't know. I'd have to check and see if that's possible. But that is something I'm thinking about doing, at least until my foot gets better, that I can start to move it to those more obscure far ends of the pedal board. Because definitely, I think the last time I worked at the organ, and I was using the foot pedal, it was like the left foot was at the far end. I was making sure my cat's not throwing up. She's just chewing on a stick. See? So like I was working on the foot pedal, and my foot was at the far end of the keyboard, or the foot pedal board, because it was at the lower D of the keyboard, or the footboard. I'm totally messing this up. And because it's just holding a note, it's just like holding a note, and you're, putting whatever pressure. I mean, it's not like you're stomping on it, but you still do need to kind of hold your foot there. I don't know. But these are things I'm going to have to talk with my organ teacher if I ever see him again. Did I mention that he canceled last week? Yeah, he wasn't feeling well, so we didn't have a lesson last week. And I didn't see him at all on Sunday. Of course, I didn't do anything on Sunday because I held a splitting headache, so I didn't do anything on Sunday. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to see each other, but that is something I'm going to see if there's a way, if I could, like, quote unquote, transpose the octave of the pedal board to be, like, move that lower octave up an octave. I don't know. But I have to figure out something. Either that, or I'd have to sit at the further left end of the keyboard to make my foot more comfortable, but then again, it's gonna throw my hands off. I need to figure some stuff out with that. Already, like, just over a year into Oregon, and I broke my foot. I can't do footwork anymore. I don't know. But that is kind of what is going on with what's happening today. As I'd mentioned earlier, we didn't have class this morning. By the way the email sounded, it was kind of up in the air. It's kind of like, well, we may not, or I forget exactly. I think he said we may not have class. But I just wasn't sure what that was. Like, we may not. It's kind of like we might, but we might not. So, but I don't know. But yeah. And he did say the next few days. So, I don't know if we're going to have class tomorrow. Or whenever we have our Braille class. And that's one of the things I wanted to get that Braille writing done, because that's what we're gonna do in class is read through this reader wherever. I don't even know where I put it. Yeah, we're gonna read through this reader in class. I don't even know, like, if we're gonna do timed reading or what we're gonna do, but I wanted to have all of that brailled out so that we could actually use it. Mathematics grades, at least all the grades that I have are put in the grade book, which is cool. There's a couple that I don't have grades for, like, one of them that I'm really bummed out that I don't have a grade for yet is, I think I titled it, Math's Fun or something like that. I think I might retitle it as Decimal Street, but I will put that in the description and see if I can put it at the end of the video, but here. But yeah, so Math's Fun, he basically set, I think it was like 8. And then I had to add and subtract all these different numbers. And I had to use the tens house and the units house and use the little decimal street math thing and work through these problems. And I think he gave like 10 different problems or something, 10 or 12, I forget what it was, but either way, that was a fun one. I really, really like that one, but for some unknown reason it doesn't have a grade. So I will be very sad if I don't get a grade on that, because I like that one. And then there are some other ones, just miscellaneous homework that for some unknown reason they just never got graded. So I pretty much marked them down as, hey, I found another straggler. So I'm sure they just got lost or whatnot in the email. Once I do get all these grades and I can actually go through and delete all the old homework, because those things have attachments, and attachments take up space, and the shared folder is already pretty full with stuff. I need to figure out how to get like more space or something, or figure out what to move or how to share it without moving it. I don't know. So, I think that's pretty much all I've got as far as what's going on. I can like go through, like, I know I did like a brief thing of the new school basket. You know what? I think I'll put that in a different video. I'm going to put that in a different video. It's going to be the school basket video. But I'm going to do that. Show you guys a little bit better what's in there, because I did find some other things. Like the hundreds chart. And I think, I don't know, I think the hundreds chart, and other than the notebooks, I think that's all I put in there, other than the, what else did I put in there? Oh, the plan for the, like, the checkoff box or whatever for the syllabus for the reading lessons. I don't know if the reading lessons have this. They might, but that table is in the box. I included the hundreds chart because I knew when we get to the number 12, one of the concepts I'll be doing is skip counting, because everywhere I've looked, they've all said skip counting is really good preparation for multiplication. So, that's what that is for. So I have a nice laminated hundreds chart that I'll be using for that, learning those. And then I think the other thing that was just added were just the black notebooks for like the reading and the writing and the music and the mathematics stuff. Just my traditional black notebooks where I keep track of assignments and classwork and things. Oh, now that I'm thinking about it, I just might crawl into bed. I'm thinking that's what I might do, is just crawl into bed. So yeah, that's my talking spiel over. I do think having this thing of talking after might be better, but I don't know. But I haven't talked with anyone for like a long time. Oh, I just remembered. Saturday, we went out canoeing. I went canoeing. And it was really fun. The trip wasn't as long, but it was still fun. We went down a different part of the river, and it was really, really windy. I don't know what part it was, but it was really, really windy. I think the next time I go canoeing, I want to try to go, like, canoeing in my own canoe, like, with nobody else in the canoe. I think that'd be fun. So, yeah. Also, I did a little bit of YouTubing on how to get into, canoes and kayaks without flipping over and stuff. And it sounds like if you, like, pull them up towards the shore, like, on their side, like, not on their side, but sideways, and you just more or less step into them, and then you push off land, or do, like, there's a canoe stroke, I forget what it is, but it's like you push the water away from you. It actually pushes you off, and you're more stable that way too. And then I also learned that there's a couple other strokes other than the J stroke that I didn't know about till just recently. One of them was called the Indian stroke. Then there's a Canadian stroke, and then there's I think the Canadian stroke is it's a combination of the J stroke and something else. But the Indian stroke sounds really fun because that one, it's like everything is super, super silent, and you're not supposed to lift your paddle out of the water. So that's really cool. All the fun things I learned. I wonder if that could be counted as like physical education. I don't know. Okay, so that's pretty much what's happening. I think now that my homework is done and I had my appointment and it went okay. I think I'm going to look up and see what a torn ligament is, see if it even heals, see what's going on, see what happens about that, and then I'll probably end up just falling asleep. But I don't know. Okay, so until then, if you want to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget, ding ding, ring the notification bell for all notifications. Oh, side note, this was a really cool thing that just happened today that pertained to music. I was just doing my Braille homework. I was listening to some dude improvising something on the internet, and he was doing like a video about observation, and he had people look at his clock, and he's like, just come up with 5 to 10 things that you noticed about the clock. And while he was doing that, he was doing like a 45 second improvisation thing, and I was like listening to that, and I'm thinking, it sounds like it's in the key of G minor. And I looked, and I was like, oh, you can see his hands. So I zoomed in on the hands, and as he was finishing, it looked like he ended on G, but I couldn't really be for sure. So I held the tonic note in my head, and then I checked it out on my little keyboard thing on my phone, and it was in the key of G minor. I was like so psyched. It's like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. I can identify the key of G minor in one weird thing. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's totally like legit, but just the fact that I could identify that was G minor was really cool. So, okay. I guess it goes to show, with all the G minor pieces I've been working on at the organ, something is sticking. Ear training! Alright. I will let that be at that.